Hey, everybody. Listen, welcome into the building. We are here for Married to Medicine, part three reunion. Listen, guys, I'm telling you right now, I think these three-part reunions are not necessary. Um, I have yet to see one yet from any one of these given shows where the three parts were truly necessary. Even the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we didn't need three parts. They could have did it in two. Married to Medicine, they most certainly could have done this reunion in two parts. They're stealing our time. They're robbing us, guys. They robbed me of 60 minutes and I want it back. Listen, I'm so bad. Don't kill me. My dishwasher is going on behind the scenes, but it's almost done. Okay, so let me bring it to the building. Some heavenly angels. We got Curves. Hey, Curves.
Hey guys,
Look
how's
at
it
Pretty and
going?
Pink. Look at Pretty and Pink.
I
I love
appreciate
it.
that.
Yes. And listen, guys, as you come in the building, don't forget, hit the like button. All right. Hey, Smoke.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's
Hi.
up? What's up?
With that picture of quad.
Because she ate in this third part of the reunion. You hear me?
Oh, you think she
Okay.
ain't? We're going to get into it. I said,
Go
Hey,
ahead,
we're here.
Diva.
Listen, Heavenly
Hey
Angels are
y'all.
Hey,
here.
here.
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right. Hey, Sheila.
Hey,
Hello,
Sheila.
hello,
Hi
guys.
Sheila.
Listen, nice to see y'all all here. Let's talk about this reunion part three. And I don't know how y'all feeling, but these three-part reunions are getting on my nerves.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Agreed.
They're not necessary. I mean, they could literally do this in two parts. I'm really almost gonna say I haven't even seen that much wordy material. I think that these reunions could be done like in one part, maybe 2 hours at the most, and you can give it to me
Yeah.
in one shot and let me be done and move
Yeah.
on with my life. Y'all dragging it out for three parts is just, it's dreadful. It's tragic. Okay. So
I
anyway,
think,
go ahead.
Diva, I think that they cut up so much that in reality it needs three parts, but because they cut up so much and cut out so much, I think the way they record it is so hard to jumble it into one
One
or two
part.
shows.
right.
Yeah, because
I just
some of this, I don't know if anybody watched, but some of the stuff that Dr. Heavenly was saying on her live, we missed
Oh,
so much
yeah, she
stuff
did.
this season. Like, it was so much stuff that they did not play through the season and at the reunion, according to what Heavenly says.
No,
And
I
according to what
believe
kind of
her.
Contessa's live with Funky Dineva, there was a lot of stuff that happened that we did not see.
and
So,
Right.
the
I
dress.
believe both of them, right? And here's the thing. Yes, you have to chop it up. They can't show every single thing. But then that means that, guess to me, you need better editors. You
that
need
part.
better
Yeah,
editors
right.
because you can't, if y'all see all of this footage, and I'm sure it's not easy because you got to edit it in a way that it makes logical sense and it goes
Mhm,
in some type of sequence. Or when we
mhm.
watch the episodes, we're going to be like, well, dang, how did they not continue what happened last week or whatever? So you need it to kind of mesh together, and that's not an easy job. But y'all better pay some people some more money and get the right editor because I'm
Right.
over it, right?
Not
Just
only
I'm
that,
over
Diva.
it.
like
Honestly, I feel like for the reunions, they should take it back to the Jerry Springer style and have a live audience.
and let them act.
Have the host go into the audience and let
Mm,
them ask the questions of the ladies, and that would honestly, I feel like that would bring the viewership they're trying to gain back. If it was like a one night deal, 2 hours live reunion, Married to Medicine, everything out
That was
open.
that's
That's a different kind of pressure cooker that they'll be under, where they have to answer certain questions.
yeah,
they
I
wouldn't be able to
totally
air that
agree.
on
Three is
TV.
too many. Three is too many, especially to have so many unanswered questions. Three is like way too many,
Two
you
is
know?
enough.
And I feel
That's
like
true,
the
Yeah,
right?
two is
editors, if they're
definitely
not going
enough.
to do what Smoke's idea is, because that's a fantastic idea, Smoke. If they're not going to do that, maybe the editors could have somebody that actually watches the show
Yep.
and would be like, okay, no, we need to leave that in because the whole season was based off of that instead
Yep.
of just stuff. Because from what I even understand, is Andy doesn't watch that show in particular,
He doesn't.
and he is fed stuff by them, and it's not even the stuff that matters to us. So they
Right.
need either a viewer in the room or somebody who actually watches the show so that we can get more answers, because this was not great.
Honestly, I would nominate Funky Dineva to host their reunion because he knows all the ladies very well. He doesn't pull any punches when he reviews his shows about them. They all get it on his lives. So I think he would be a perfect candidate because he knows what questions that we'd be interested in hearing from the ladies.
All right. So Miss True Kelly said yes, live audience like Love and Hip Hop.
That's a little
Okay.
too Love and Hip Hop, I think, to have Funky and a live audience, but maybe
Well,
have Funky do like a Nicki
with the
Minaj
live audience,
segment.
right? You gotta have some control because you don't want to have a whole Jerry Springer moment. And there are some,
Yes, we do.
you know, and there are some fans that they literally do take and go too far with things, right? So you don't want it to be a whole chaos. You don't want it to be a circus. I think that what they can do to improve it, maybe you can have a live audience, but going to the audience with questions. Let me tell you this, even when you go to live talk shows, and you know this, Smoke, they
Yep.
vet out your questions. You can't just
Right.
randomly, and they do that for a reason, right? Because they can't have chaos going on a live moment on TV, right? So, and even if they're going to film it, they don't have time to film shenanigans, you know, when you ask these questions. And they don't direct your question, but they will prep you for your question. When you asking Sherry Shepherd a question, trust me, it's not random. They
It's
already
vetted.
picked out the 5 people ahead of time. They already prepped them and said, listen, you're going to stand next to Sherry. You ain't going to say too much. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to whatever. You're going to ask your question. You're going to laugh loud when she says her little joke and so forth and so on. So I like the idea of a live audience because I think it just would be cool. I think you do need the right host. The host needs to be kind of non-biased. And that may be kind of difficult to do. And then you're going to have to make it kind of concise where, you know, you ask each individual, maybe you go down the line like they try to do. But when they get to each person, they don't necessarily ask each person the questions we want the answers to. But
Right.
for sure, they need to give us back some of our time because these 3 parts is garbage. It's a waste of time. And like I said, we're not getting the answers to some of the questions that we really have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into this. Dr. Karen, they talk to the men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They talk to the men. And Dr. Karen, he doubles down. He
Sure
like,
did.
whatever.
He said, I said what I said, and I ain't
said what I
changing.
said. It is what it is, and you need to get over it. Now you know what. Now I see that. What is Dr. Jackie's husband name again? Curtis.
Curtis. He was
Curtis is just
perfect.
as petty as Dr. Jackie. Okay, because he told Dr. Eugene, you know, this was benign. This situation with the moving truck and the costume, it was benign in comparison to what you did to me. Okay. Yep. So he was like, so what you crying about pretty much? I said, oh, look at Curtis. That's why Jackie married him. They one and the same, okay? Holding grudges, okay? Waiting for the right time to pounce on the person and let them know I'm still pissed off at you.
Well, Diva, I don't think he was pouncing on him, but I think he was just pointing out the hypocrisy of it all. Like, this is what you have shown on the show, that y'all are constantly moving. Someone made a joke. You literally came after a real life situation that could have ended my marriage. And granted, yes, everybody was talking about it, but you're like, you're my friend, and you know the ins and outs me and Jackie have had and all the ups and downs, and like that's something very serious. So the fact that you sit here crying about an actual truth about your living situation, basically, like Setsa said, you're basically refugees in Atlanta. You're going from place to place. You don't have a situated situation. Then yeah, so I thought it was beautiful. So it's like Eugene was kind of like, oh well, I'm sorry. I was like, now you're saying you're sorry because you realize how dumb you look and actually realize that you basically did the same thing. You basically did the same thing Kieran did, but at a much higher level.
I agree with you, but at the same time, Curtis is petty. He like his wife. He bringing us stuff from the past, but yes, he was bringing it up to prove a point, to say that you mad at this man. But at the same time, just like Eugene brought it on himself, because they did move about 17 times. Curtis brought it on himself because he was caught in the airport holding the hands of some other female that wasn't his wife. Okay.
Exactly.
So,
That's fair.
Same way Contessa brought it on herself when Dr.
Oh.
Henry brought it up then.
oh,
Period.
Come on, Curves.
oh,
Thank you,
don't
Curves.
do that.
Thank
Don't
you,
be-
girl. Thank you, girl.
I can't even open my water. Don't do that to Contessa. Don't do that to Contessa. But let's finish. Finish with the man. So Dr. Karen, he turns to Cecil like, Cecil, don't bow out now. You thought it was funny. You thought it was funny. So are you going to stand up for me? What you going to do? So then that's when Cecil had to say, listen, at first I thought it was funny, but then I talked to Dr. Eugene and he was like, yo, it hurt my feelings. And so he said, then I knew the severity of it. So now I don't think it's as funny. No, I'm paraphrasing, but you know, Cecil thought that thing was funny. He still does to this day, but he knows
Exactly.
Because it was funny.
It was
was
hilarious. It was hilarious.
It's still
Yeah.
funny. And
Yes,
no
it was
matter
funny.
he gets, the funnier it gets to me. I don't know why. I'm just like,
well,
Well,
But
you
you
know what it shows? It
Huh?
shows that he's actually embarrassed by how many times they moved, or else he
Right.
would have laughed along with it. But there's no reason for them to move that many times. It's his wife, and he won't check his wife. She's
right.
too busy grabbing for something bigger and better. She's never satisfied.
Oh, Sheila, you just said it best. She's always grabbing for something bigger
I
and
knew you were
better.
gonna say that, so.
She literally is, because she talked about how that shower head in her bathroom works wonders.
Oh,
Yes.
Jesus.
From all
Okay.
directions.
So they talked so Andy, every now and then Andy recovers, right? He has some recovery moments because he spoke to Dr. Eugene. He said, listen, your wife lonely. What do you feel about that? What do you think about that? Eugene is kind of like, he's unaware. It's almost like he's living with Toya, but he's in La La Land or something. Like he's oblivious to it all. He just like, but I will give him this. This part I will give him because I worked in the hospital. I worked 12-hour shifts. I think it was called what was it, Sandy, that storm Sandy. Remember Sandy was really, really bad.
It knocked out everything.
It knocked out everything. And everybody was out, didn't have powers. A lot of places didn't have power. I can't say everybody. And trees were down and it was bad. Bad to the point where they asked the staff in the hospital, can you just spend the night? Can you not go home? Because they didn't know if the nurses and the doctors that were home were going to be able to come out and get to the hospital. So, you know, when you have that type of job and there's a crisis in the world, you almost, it's like your family gets left behind. And you gotta hope. I was very fortunate that the village was always in my corner, still is to this day, that I didn't have to worry about my son. But of course you still miss him. But when you come on a dotted line to take care of someone's family member, and you can't be like, oh, well, I want to get home because it's Sandy, and you got somebody here on a ventilator and somebody sick and 10 patients that need you. You can't be like, oh, well, I want to be home in my bed with my family watching TV or in the dark or whatever with everybody else. So that's where I connected with Dr. Eugene. And that's where I said that Toya should have understood what you signed up for. You're married to medicine. Curtis should have understood what he signed up for. You're married to medicine. So yes. And then they also taught us in the hospital that is people over paperwork. So that means take care of your patients and chart when you chart. And so 9 times out of 10, it got so busy, you had to chart everything on every patient at the end of your shift because you had no time to chart it while you was doing things. Now, these EMRs, they call them, and I don't want to get too off the beaten path here, but the electronic charting, it helped out a lot when you're able to start scanning patients. But back when, everything was done on paper. So I gave a person some Tylenol, I had to chart it on paper. But now, fortunately, at least your meds can get charted in real time because you scan the patient's bracing and you can't give them a med. So that helps too by not giving the wrong med because you're scanning is in your chart and you documented that you're giving it in real time. So all I'm saying is that those individuals you married to medicine know what you married. And I feel like in this instance, Toya 100% could have been there more for Dr. Eugene. And even before, when I came home from the hospital, I would strip down in my entryway, take off all my scrubs, and I would literally go upstairs in my house in my undergarments because I wasn't going to wear the same scrubs and all the shoes and everything through my house with my family from coming in the hospital. So that girl, she needs to understand who she's married to and that she's married to medicine. And when you're married to medicine, your life is a little bit different.
Tiva, can you hear me?
Yeah. Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so speaking of Hurricane Sandy, what did he say? Two palm trees and ocean breeze. I'm trying to put your mind at ease. That was so cringy to me.
Yeah, that was
cringy.
like,
Oh, you talking about Scott? You talking about Scott?
positive that's a rap line from the
Wait,
80s.
hold on, girlfriend. Hold on. Let's ask the rest of his lyrics here. Dr. Scott told on himself. But listen, the title of the song speaks everything. You know what? I want to be fresh, but the title is Lost, and yeah, it's still a little lost. They're a little lost, right, in that relationship. But listen, here we go. He said, I know I might have led astray. Oh, okay. But take me back. I'll find my way. So take me back to this. So I'm gonna act right this time. Temptation's always lurking. Yeah, well, you was responding to the DMs, okay? But he said, please don't confuse cheating with flirting. What was that? Say what outside? What was that? What does that mean? So it did at least ask them, like, are you telling on yourself? And he went in a whole big circle because he wanted to deflect. And he was like, you know what? I'm just being honest. My wife, now you come on, Scott, you smart, you're a doctor, right? Your wife had to tell you on being a married man that you shouldn't be responding to DMs. You needed to hear that from your wife. Like, I was like, are we hearing this right now? I just can't do this right now. Your wife told you that responding to the DMs from these other women were wrong. You agree with your wife. You had an epiphany there. You agree with your wife. And now you know better. And y'all doing well. I'll stop there. Who wants to talk?
So he has a medical degree, but needed his wife to tell him that answering DMs is not okay. Okay? Dr. Scott should have stayed quiet. He didn't say 10 words the entire season. He didn't say nothing when Contessa was on her road rage.
Why you call her Contessa?
That's her name.
And forever and ever. And that damn ponytail with the butt buckle looked like no. So she's Contessa forevermore. And her and Dr. Scott are two peas in a pod again, both deflecting, talking in circles. Oh, yeah, we said that last year, but no, we didn't. Yeah, sure. And the rap lyrics, hey, say it again, all in order, and I'll drop a beat for you. Okay, it was such a cheeseball rap. And it was like, I swear that line, I've heard it before. I set your mind at ease and cool the breeze. That's something from the 80s. He bit that line. I'm pretty sure.
But hey, you know what though? Typical, you know what? We're going to write a book. We're going to do it one day on the show. We're going to write the handbook for the new housewives coming in, or if you start a reality show, we're going to give them some tips, okay? So tip number one is you do your little song. Hey, if this makes you a couple of $100,000, what do you care? It's free money. Drop you a little song, okay? Yeah, LL Scott, come on now. He's a new guy.
Well, Kim Zolciak did a song, and we see what happened with her, so maybe that's not such a good idea.
Whoa.
Kim Zolciak.
Oh,
right.
Well, Kim Zolciak, but let me tell you something though. Don't be tardy. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell the truth for the truth. Yeah, I like Don't Be Tardy. Yeah, I was like, don't be tardy for the party.
I mean, it was cute, but we see where it ended up as well, too. We on foreclosure. Looking for a home.
Her cigarettes, her wigs, and her children are out on the streets.
Right? She started out wrong because she tried to steal from Candy. She didn't want to pay Candy from the song. Listen, Nene said it. When you do dirty, something like that, she said, when you do dirty,
you never win when you play dirty, honey.
You never win when you play dirty, okay? You never win when you play dirty. So Candy
never
playing
win.
dirty. Yeah, she told Candy she lived in that new house of hers was in the hood. Okay,
but Candy paid for it.
Yeah, she didn't want to pay Candy for the song. Candy had to sue her to get the money. Remember, Candy was on that couch crying. She's like, "You don't think it's not right that you didn't pay?"
I should only get $5,000-$6,000, and you get $10,000-$20,000.
Why you do that voice, Roy? Why you do it like that? Nobody do like this. Like Kim, you don't think it was right that you took all my money?
Trying to hold them tears back.
Well, you don't know this.
But you know what's so unfortunate with the Scotts is the fact that she knew what he did.
Yeah.
And she was crying out for help, and now she regretted it because everybody got in her business. And you know, Heavenly just says what she feels. Yeah. She'll apologize today, and 2 seconds later, she'll be back saying it again with a little vengeance.
Yeah. Okay. So you know what? Let's deal with the Scotts for a minute.
Yeah.
We all had a friend that complained about their mate.
Yep.
Said all kinds of horrible things about the mate. Some of us had to go over to their house and save them from the mate. Some of us helped pack up the bags and remove them from the space of the mate. Okay?
Nope.
Some of us even had a conversation with the mate. I'm just saying, you know, some part of this you may identify with, you may identify with none, but we all had that on the phone and heard from our friend about the mate. And we gave advice. Hold on 1 second. We gave advice.
I'll speak.
We stayed up all night. We heard them cry. We gave them this folded up tissue. So
where the tissue, Royer?
Put the kids to bed.
Got it today. I'm the one that got it today, Royer.
Okay.
You got it today. Look, we're gonna have it together. Okay.
Yeah. And then 2 seconds later, the man we done saved, or the person we done saved them from, we call them on the phone. Come on now. We call them on the phone and they like, oh, he right here. You like, huh? What? I'm on street. I'm going to your house. You on my couch.
Right.
And now you back with him.
And I done housed your children in my house.
Yeah, come on, Sheila.
But not only Diva, I can speak to that because I did that once and one time only. And I learned my lesson the hard way because I was friends with both of them and they were having issues. And the way I look at it, I don't mind being that friend that will stay up with you late at night, that will hear your cries and your pleas, rending your garments. But I'll be like, so what do you want to do about it? Because here's the thing that I learned. I don't have the emotional attachments that they would have being in that relationship with that individual. So no, I'm coming from a place where I'm speaking objectively, but I don't have that connection. So I cannot give you sound advice because then you're going to be looking at me or they're going to be looking at me like, well, why are you messing my relationship? So if you like it, I love it for you. Because at the end of the day, you have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired if you don't like the relationship that you are in with this person.
Can I speak to that as well?
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna let you speak, Sheila. Wait. Roy, how do I make my napkin? How do I do this now?
Listen, Diva. We want to take it full size and fold it in half. Fold that in half. Half. There you go.
Okay.
Now we want to take the corners of it. Well, Diva, go ahead and fold yours again one more time.
Hold it again. Okay.
There you go. Then you want to take those corners and corner them down.
Wait, we don't mess it up.
You treat this like this some origami.
Wait, it's folded. Wait, what do I do from here?
Corner it. Take the corner and fold it. Okay, so you can do it that way. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Diva, can
My
I say
You want
something,
to
please?
fold it again. You may need a paper towel, girl.
Okay,
You
but
want
you
to
know
fold it
what
in a
though?
tray. There you go.
I'm
There
gonna
you
do
go.
something. I'm gonna do something. There go mine.
There you go.
Yes, Diva. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Hey,
Thank you,
Diva.
Candace. Thank you, Candace. Listen. Everywhere I go now, I'm gonna fold it and be like, yes, honey, yes. Okay, Fifi, thank you for the super chat. Girl, I call you back. He here. Yes, girl, I call you back. He here. Come on, Fifi. That's exactly what they say. And you like, what the devil is going on here? Chilla, what do you want to say? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But this is the thing. You've stayed up many nights listening to their crap. You've housed the kids. You fed the kids.
Come
you
on.
put the kids in your bed, and one of them pissed in your bed. So you're mad. And you try not to, like, okay. The baby is stressed. So, I'm going to deal with it. I ain't going to be mad,
You
But,
say the baby don't piss.
yeah, so you mad. And then on top of it, one of the kids sleep with the damn eyes open. So when you're walking in the room, folding up clothes, the baby is asleep, and the eyeball is following you around the room. And you're like, what the? You thinking like, oh my God. So
God, you're killing me.
you're going through the stress and everything with that
Yes.
woman and that relationship. And then next thing you know, you hear in the background, we all right. What? I done stayed up late with the work, half fallen asleep.
Yes.
Because I'm sitting up
Sheila,
here
he's a good
trying
man,
to be your
Savannah.
friend.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
So
He's just trying to get himself out of a situation right now. He can't help himself. That's why.
He's a doctor. And
If
he's
I-
a doctor.
if I can add,
You stupid.
go ahead, Mom.
Contessa is funny though, because Contessa's funny. You were saying, Diva, that she asked for help. She asked a room full of doctors for help.
Yeah.
And got help. Now she mad. How confused is this girl?
Well, I'm Team Contessa, but Mo better go ahead.
So I wanted to add to the conversation is that, like, I'm a single woman, so my mom always tell me, don't come to me with the issues you're having with your men. I don't want to hear about it because I'm gonna have a skewed perception of them when you're telling me all these negative stuff. So you're telling me all these negative things, and now I'm beating this man, and now I have all these negative thoughts to give. So now I'm coming to Heavenly side because I'm a newly converted Heavenly angel. And now it's like,
welcome.
Hello, Contessa, you said all these things on the internet, and so now I'm gonna talk about it. Now I understand what you're saying, and now I'm speaking truth to light, and now you don't want to hear it.
Mo better, you done fell on the wrong side of the fence.
No, you didn't.
No, you did not. Welcome
Look,
to the
you came
club.
out of that delusion that contestant is still holding Diva.
So listen, let me tell you something. Even though my girlfriend done cried to me, done said whatever the case may be, and even though I done went over there 27 times, I will go over 27 more. But guess what? I will never do. I will never be spreading their business in the streets, even if they already put it out there. And even because people will come to you, girl, well, what's happening with her man? I thought they broke up. I'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's me. I won't tell it either.
You better ask her. And I tell them right now too, I get away with saying, girl, I don't even remember nothing. Don't tell me nothing because I don't remember.
I'll do that too. I'm like, oh no, I'm like, they were good the last time I talked. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, I may tell my spouse. We'll talk about it, but outside of that, I don't know nothing.
So I kind of still feel like specifically what most people are mad about with Dr. Heavenly was this whole question of abuse. And somebody asked Dr. Heavenly on her live whether or not Contessa was in an abusive relationship. Had she not answered the question,
that would have been okay.
Speculated further that silence is acceptance and she was perhaps covering up something. Therefore, out of the goodness of her heart, she said not physical or no, whatever she said.
Not physical, emotional, mentally.
Yeah. Because we saw it. because she's giving us credit for having brains in our heads, eyeballs in our eyes, and understanding in our hearts about what we witnessed. The volatile people.
Yeah, that's what your girl Contessa was doing all season, Diva. Wipe them tears for Contessa. Go and wipe them. Let me get into this real quick. So before I hop on Contessa and Heavenly, let me talk about Karen 10 toes down. He's standing on it this season and next season, and he gonna come back and be 10 toes down again for it again, and he gonna crack a joke about it, and he gonna laugh about it again because Cecil thought it was funny, Curtis thought it was funny, Scott thought it was funny, and Dr. Damon thought it was funny. Now, if Dr. Damon laughed, you know it was funny because Dr. Damon stayed out of the mess. Okay,
he does.
Curtis, he deserves to be petty. The way Eugene was sitting up in that confessional 2 years ago, dragging Jackie and Curtis in their marriage and how Curtis did him. Curtis can give a few more kikis and hee-hees for Eugene because he deserves it. You can sit up in your confessionals and talk about everybody else on this show, but as soon as we make a joke about some reality that is going on in your life, and see, I think that's what makes him more so upset about it, is because it's a real situation. True. See, we only got to see a little bit of the picture of what really was going on. Dr. Heavenly told us that Eugene was shaking and upset and yelling and screaming and hollering, and it got so bad that he had to leave the party because he couldn't control his true emotions about how Toya continues to destroy him and manipulate him and talk bad to him, disrespect him and emasculate him. It's just horrible. And that's why Eugene is so sensitive about this subject, because these are the things that I really believe Toya says a lot more at home. Yes, a lot more. And see,
well, she does, right? Because usually it wouldn't slip out her mouth so easy on film.
Exactly.
It is what she's saying. We could get into that, but Fifi, thank you. They sending out new Heavenly Kool-Aid packs, okay?
And I got one.
They giving them out free, Fifi, okay? They like over here.
This month's flavor is pumpkin spice.
Come on the angel side.
Yes. But Heavenly even told us that Toya continues to disrespect Eugene, telling him that she makes more money than him now, and continuing to demasculate him. It's just horrible. Andy talking about Toya, asking Eugene about Toya and her loneliness. Let me tell you something. Eugene is very aware that Toya is lonely, and he has no problem with it because she continues season after season to disrespect this man. You really think that at this point this man cares how she feels? No, because she obviously does not care how he feels or what people think about him in the community, at his job, or on national TV, because if you did, you wouldn't continue to disrespect. You would never disrespected this man like this. Never. Right. What you do at home and in your private closed doors, that's one thing. But to get on national TV on a platform and you run around talk about Dr. Heavenly talking about y'all on YouTube, girl, a couple of 100,000 people see that versus a couple of million people see you sitting on TV talking about their husband, disgracing him. It's a mess. Scott. That's all I have to say about this song. We just pitiful. And then, I really don't have too much to say with Heavenly and Contessa, because Heavenly has already set the record straight. Her story has been the same from the beginning of season 9, episode 1, until the end of season 9, episode 16, reunion part 3. Contessa's story has changed and changed and changed and changed and changed throughout the whole season. You're mad about one thing, then you're mad about another. Behind the scenes, you're saying we're good, and camera, you're saying we're good, but then behind the scenes, you act a fool. Get on camera and act a fool.
But think about it. Remember when they were in the hotel room when they went on the last vacation and she was supposedly studying? She implied that he hit her or was about to hit her. Do you guys remember that?
No.
When Heavenly was in the room with them and they were having a discussion about their relationship.
No, and Dr. Heavenly went into the room.
They heard yelling and Heavenly went to check her. Yes.
Okay, that part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So No, let me tell you, all jokes aside, Contessa and Scott went through a bad patch.
They did.
Contessa and Scott went through a bad patch before the world. I don't disagree with that. A lot went down. It could have been 2 years, right? All right. A lot went down. A lot happened. I don't disagree with it. But at any given point, if let's just say it was Toya who was getting down with this, I wouldn't say it was right, but at least I would say that Toya and Contessa at the time wasn't that close. For Dr. Heavenly and Contessa and the husbands to go on vacation together, that's a whole nother level of a friendship, in my opinion. Okay, so my son is 17. I'm gonna say before the pandemic, my girlfriend that I've known forever, because her daughter's the same age as my son. I think I said this before. We went on vacation every summer together. Yeah. There was just no way on this earth, I don't care what place we get in, that I would fill out her business, even if I was repeating something she already said. So I agree with y'all. Contessa put a lot of her own business out there. Contessa was acting like a damsel in distress last season. Yes. She wanted everyone to save her. She wanted the ladies to speak for her. And even when they was having the dinner at the table, and I don't know what happened between her and Scott, she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry I brought you into this." And she starts crying and acting a fool. So she did, all jokes aside, I said I like her, but I could tell the truth where the truth needed to be told. She did act as if she needed to be saved from a relationship. Whether it was verbal or physical, she was acting like that. And so she would have did herself a better service to say that, you know what? We was in a space for 2 years, as Roy said, okay? We was in a bad space for 2 years. I did put a lot of my business out on the streets, but I expected more of Heavenly because me and Heavenly were friends. Right. Friends on a different level, so I thought. I don't go on vacation with just anybody. I'll let you in small. And there's several reasons why, especially when you going somewhere where you need your passport. I gotta trust you. You gotta trust me. I gotta know if I done lost my money somewhere, I ain't gonna starve and get left out here in the middle of nowhere, whatever the case may be. And especially when I do them cruises, I'm gonna need you because I can't do nothing with this time, and I don't need that ship to be leaving me while I'm over here shopping on the island. You need to come grab me and say, "Let's hurry up and run back and get back on the ship before the ship pull off the dock." Okay, so I need to trust who I'm going on vacation with. And I don't just go on vacation with anybody. And I personally don't take friendship lightly. So I think that with Contessa, the more thing that stung her was that we were supposed to be different. I think all the ladies overall on all of these given shows, once they step in front of those cameras and they start taping, they don't give a darn what they have to do to earn that check. Even if they're stabbing someone they consider a friend in the back. And what they think is once the cameras are done, once they say cut, everything I did on the show, I'm going to just say, girl, forgive me, I was doing it for the show, and it's going to be like that. But you can't take everything back. Go ahead, Smoke. I see you screaming over there.
But here's my thing that and I love Heavenly, but I have to be willing to call out on stuff. You have to know who your friends are and what they're capable of. So if you see them doing X, Y, and Z to other people, do not think that the sword won't swing back your way and they won't try to gut you as well. So Contessa has to take some accountability in regards to what she shared or allowed to share heavily, and especially knowing how Heavenly is. You have to know that Heavenly is going to, especially because I think this is when she was on Twitter or whatnot, or before she got to YouTube. But it's Heavenly has no problem answering stuff honestly. We all know this. If you ask Heavenly a question about something on the show that we all see, she is going to respond. So that's where my problem, Contessa, you have to know your friends. You can't tell all your friends everything. I'll be the same way. There are different levels to it. I can be cordial and cool, have a good time, but I don't let my deepest, darkest secrets out to just anyone. So there has to be some fault on Contessa where she had to be I know Heavenly's my girl. I know how she is. I can only tell her but so much about my marriage because we're on this platform together, and I know she won't be able Heavenly won't lie. Let's just say this. Heavenly won't lie about stuff. No matter how she's trying to protect someone, she's gonna tell the truth. So that's also on Contessa. You like, you kind of had to gauge what you shared with Heavenly and what you didn't.
Heavenly won't lie.
Here's my thing. It was
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I'll let y'all speak. But Heavenly won't lie. She was a virgin when she met Daddy and got married. Come on, stop. Come on, stop.
You know, those are things that are not.
Believe. I find that hard to believe. No, I don't find it hard to believe.
Yeah, go ahead, Roy.
And so here's my issue. If anybody was deceptive, it's Contessa, because Heavenly didn't go into the season talking about YouTube and being upset. Contessa brought all of it. Contessa showed up to Anila's housewarming and said, "Oh, we're not talking. Me and Heavenly aren't talking. I'm not doing her right now." So you brought this into the season as your storyline. Then,
but wait, right here. After you did that, remember Heavenly said she walked right up to her at Anila's party and was like, "Oh, sis, I love you." Remember? She said that. Okay, so continue. Sorry.
But then before that, and I need my witnesses to help me out, because just make sure I'm not lying and I'm not tripping, because, you know, I could be. But was Contessa not on YouTube with Dr. Heavenly at least every other week, dragging her husband profusely along with Heavenly?
It was.
So in my head, if you getting on here with me talking about your husband, I think it's okay. Because what you allow is what everybody else is going to do. Ain't that what we've been preaching all season, folks?
Yeah.
What you allow is what everybody else is going to do.
Yeah.
So
get that tissue, diva.
That's what Contessa's doing. She's crying in tears because she know that check ain't coming next season. Contessa, it's okay for you to sit on YouTube and drag, but then when you get some good advice, aka shut up and stop talking about your husband on national TV.
Yeah.
And when it's sound advice and it works, then we got a problem. Because you came to a Laura's party. I seen you there on Dr. Heavenly's YouTube. I mean, on Instagram. And YouTube. That was before we started filming the season.
You're killing me with them tissues.
So, I mean, you know, I can justify, you know, Heavenly, I'll go on record and say it. She was wrong. If that's what y'all want to hear, she was wrong. But she didn't tell anything that was unknown. She did not hurt Contessa's feelings, because Scott hurt Contessa's feelings. And like we've been saying all season, you're directing your anger in the wrong place. You mad at your husband, not me. You left for 2 years and moved to Tennessee and admitted to looking for a job, hoping not to come back home.
She did. She said that on Funky Doniva's interview that she was hoping to find a job in Tennessee. And
how was even out before that interview came out. Heavenly was telling us that 2 years ago.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't see that one.
Because Contessa was on her YouTube talking. Man, that's something like this is Contessa seen this as a storyline because you didn't want to get on here and talk about your husband another season. Because your husband already told you, if you get on here talking about me again, I'm checked out. He already checked out of his marriage. Look how far away he was sitting from behind her at the reunion. Did you see any kind of connection? Did you feel any kind of connection? You sat there and you defended Scott the whole night, but not one time did I hear Scott speak up and speak for you in defense of anything that he feels that they've done to you.
Did you not hear them say that they cut it up and chopped it up and we didn't get to see a lot of stuff?
Scott never gives anything. So why would we expect him to give anything this season?
He gave his song.
He never stands up for Contessa. So why would we expect for him to stand up for Contessa this season?
But Diva, can I just say something?
Hold on, Smoke. He gave us lost for a year, okay? I know I might have led astray. He admitted to it. He said, I know I might have led astray. But take me back. I'll find my way. Twin B, Smoke, let me just get to some other people because I got to get the Val too.
No, I just want to say her skin routine looks amazing. I'm just looking at my computer. I'm like, it's just popping off. I was like, you look good, girl.
I thought you were
Oh,
hi, everybody. Ooh, I thought you were a picture girl.
Thank you. No, hi.
Hey.
Like last week, y'all caught me off guard, child. I didn't have my light. I didn't have my this. I said, I'm gonna be.
Oh, now you ready?
Damn,
You ready,
that light will make a world of difference.
Like Scott came with his sword prepared for us. Okay.
Yes.
I said, let me come prepared, child. Be ready so you don't have to get ready. Okay.
Yeah.
So, woo, there was a lot going on, child. There was a lot. I was just sitting back listening to my fellow Angel Royer preach over here.
Flip, where you at? Flip, where you at? We got a clip.
I was about to say, yes, because I was watching earlier. She was talking about the Kool-Aid, and yes, maybe we've been drinking the Kool-Aid, but it's mighty good Kool-Aid. I'm Dr. Heavenly. The Kool-Aid is nice and sweet, and it's not the diabetic Kool-Aid that they used to give after church. You know, we don't use that heavy sugar in our Kool-Aid anymore. So it's a good, healthier version of the Kool-Aid. But I'm just, listening to what's going on. Dr. Scott, stick to doctoring, leave the rapping alone. That's all. Just stick to doctoring, leave the rapping alone. Once, like we keep saying, Contessa put her business out there, and you do have friends like that. Like 1 minute they tearing down their husband, and the next minute they so in love. I have a friend like that. It's like she's almost schizophrenic. And after a while, you don't pay attention to it. But then people in relationships have to realize you can't then fault your friends for caring more about you than you sometimes tend to care about yourself. Because your friends will be the one to tell you, like, girl, you don't deserve this. You deserve better. And friends are saying it out of a place of care and concern. I think Dr. Heavenly and everybody was really concerned for Contessa, right? And I do believe with Curves, she was trying to save his reputation by saying, no, he is not physically abusive, but based on what his wife has said, that he's volatile and he's this and he's that yeah, we can say that it may be a little emotionally abusive, maybe abusive was too harsh of a word. Maybe she could have changed the word a little bit and maybe say emotionally manipulative or emotionally hurtful. So maybe she could have changed the abuse word. But I think, she kind of tried to help by saying, no, he's not physically abusive. But in that moment, she wasn't able to really dissect everything for everybody. And Contessa knows that. So she's just basically using this as a storyline, child.
Oh, and wow.
Yes.
But, when you have a friend and you tell a friend something, you have different levels of friends that you talk to. You have friends that you only give them a little bit because you don't trust them. And then you have friends that you give them everything because you do have a level of trust. And I think that's what happened there. She trusted her enough to give her all of what she knew was going on within her relationship. And Heavenly betrayed her. It's just that simple. I'm not saying what she was saying, that Contessa did speak a lot openly about their relationship, but there's a difference with her speaking about it and then with Heavenly speaking about it.
Yes, thank you, Sheila. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second, because I got to get to Toria more better. Hold on 1 second. Tugga said Diva Polly is going to buy his single. See, don't do that. But let me tell you
what I was laughing at.
I know. Listen though. Over here in the Great Tribe, we support that. As long as it's a support, I'm gonna say $50 and under. We can get down with it. We can try it out. When it goes above $50, we have to have a consultation about it. Okay. So I'm still looking for, Kenya Moore hair care. We bought Portia's book. I bought Garcelle's book. I bought that darn book that child wrote about what's his name, R. Kelly. Well, I bought a lot of books over here. So we support $50 and under. If it's $50 and under, send the link to my email and we're going to try it out and figure out what these reality stars are doing. But that's why I don't have no Sheba Sheree. I refuse I refuse to pay $100 and something for a shirt that I could go get from Walmart for $15 or $20.
That you can go get on the machine and press She by Sheree on the shirt.
But you get a signature. You get a signature. You get her
The signatures are extra.
So press that on the shirt.
I shall not. Okay. Oh no. You know what? What do you call that darn hat by Robin?
Embezzle.
Embellish.
Okay, I'm gonna
It's really not called embezzlement. It's really not called embezzlement.
No, it's not called embezzlement.
That's what happened to their money.
I thought that's what happened.
So I'm gonna go on embezzle and darn it. Come on, y'all, don't do that. I'm gonna go on the site. I'm gonna figure this thing out. Let me see what hat I can get. Okay, Toya, you're in the building. Why are we being so hard on Contessa? Like, this is too much. This is too much. What
I agree.
Are you with Contessa?
I agree. She told her what she thought she wanted to tell her because she was her friend and she trusted her. And Heavenly shouldn't have went telling her business. Whether she told it or not, Heavenly shouldn't have repeated it. And I like Scott's song.
Yes, come on now. I wish we had a rap in the building.
I rewinded it and I danced along with him.
Yes, I did too, Toria.
I liked it.
I was jamming in my house. I was jamming. Come on.
But I'm ready to get off them and let's talk about Quad.
We're going to get there, but let me speak to Mo Better first. And listen, guys, if you missed the Candace tutorial on how to do your tissue, stay tuned. We'll do it again the next live. But this is everything, okay? You pat lightly. You pat lightly in the corner of your eyes, and you shall catch the tears, okay? Mo Better, do you want to move on to because what else we have? Okay, so what did we say here? What did I want to talk about? Curtis said Curtis got the longest leash away from Dr. Jackie. And Dr. Karen said he got the shortest leash, okay? That Anila keeps him right on her hip, okay? And all of them said, they not down with that darn sex therapist that came and said, about the menage a trois and all that. But no, they're not down with that. But if we want to move on, let's move on to Miss Quad. Quad for me is team too much. And then I'll let her speak, okay?
Nope.
Quad had the nerve.
I got something to tell you, okay?
Yes,
avatar.
Okay, wait. So Quad thought she was going to ask
Quad,
Daddy.
I got something to tell you.
Okay, no problem. Quad thought she was going to ask Daddy a question, and Heavenly told her about 99 times, "Don't speak to my husband. You better shut your mouth." And Daddy did not answer the question, okay? Daddy didn't answer the question. Well,
yes, he did.
He answered it in the way he wanted to once Andy answered it, but he didn't answer it from Quad. Okay? So, and then
he didn't even answer Andy's question. He spoke up and said, "Andy, I can take any questions." He allowed Andy to ask, but he still had control.
Boom. Oh yeah. Oh my, I'm on my way. Quad, we discovered here, y'all, in case you're missing. Quad likes to do MLK speeches, okay? That's what Quad does, right? And she does it all the time. She's always running her own internal campaign. She got the dramatics and all of this and the theatrics, and she's saying a bunch of nothing. I'm on my way. I'm coming for you. And she has so much energy for Toya, but yet she'll hear that other people was in the streets telling her business, and she don't have the same heat for them. I'm gonna stop there. Where did Toria go? Oh, Toria, what did you want to tell us about Quad?
Okay, now I must say, allegedly, because of your channel, but Miss Quad been running her mouth talking about some lie detector test, receipts. She got proof of this and she got proof of that. Well, Miss Quad, tell me this. Your contractor assaulted one of your friends in your
Allegedly, I
house.
heard about that.
Allegedly, you are being sued by your friend, and you're messing with not the contractor, but a married man who has a restaurant, Caribbean restaurant in Georgia. And his wife is looking to sue you too. Now, Miss Quad, a lie detector is not admissible in court. So you coming on the show hollering you got lie detector receipts, that didn't prove nothing, honey. Nothing at all. And I believe Dr. Heavenly would hit Quad. I really do, because I think Dr. Heavenly had enough with Quad on that couch. And I was Team Heavenly hollering, hit her, hit her, hit her, hit her. Because she told her, don't ask my husband nothing. Why is she gonna keep sitting up there saying she gonna ask him what she wanna ask him? You don't do that.
But that's
I
Quad.
don't like Quad. I'm done with Quad. Quad is team too much, and she ain't got really no good enough reason to me to be mad with anybody on that show. Dr. Heavenly tried to get her back on the show, and I'm just done with Quad, and I'm gonna keep up with these lawsuits, and I'm gonna keep watching what's going on down in Georgia with them lawsuits, because I want to see what happens with this case, and I want to see this audio. She's got audio tapes in her house. You let your friend that came to you told you, I'm not comfortable with this man in the house and what this man did, and you laughed at me. Quad, you ain't no friend. Bye, Quad.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's messy. That's messy. I did hear about that, but you know me, I until stuff comes to a certain level, I don't like to, really deal with it and bring it up. It'll surface when it surfaces. We go out in that situation. I do believe though, where there's smoke, there's fire. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know what happened with that contractor, but I know the streets was talking and something probably did happen. And that's all. But we're gonna wait to see what pans out with this contract, okay? But for right now, all we know is he got $150,000 in cash. But Tiffany, what's going on? You're new to the building. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, what do you want to add to this conversation?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, this is my first time on, so I don't know how this really works. Well, I'm kind of behind because I started late. You started right at 5 o'clock, but I wanted to talk about the friendship between Contessa and Heavenly.
Okay.
I think that Heavenly is a buster. Like, I don't like Heavenly.
Okay.
Because there are certain things, things as a friend, when we good like that, and I hold friendships really close too. Like, no, don't you go on no YouTube spreading my business of personal things that I didn't told you off camera. Now, what are we talking about? Because I'm a little bit behind.
No, you're fine. You was fine right there. I love it, honey. Contessa, right? Team Contessa. I love it. You're good. Good to go. Hold on right there, Tiffany. Let me just get more better into the building here. More better. What did you want to add to the conversation? We got at least another Team Contessa up here.
I love your feather. That is like, yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm lost because I was blinked out for a second. But with Miss Quad, Miss Quad, she did a lot, but she did the most.
She did the most.
I mean, like, I get whiplash from her. Like, one minute she's like, I'm on track with her, I understand her, and then the next second I'm like, okay, like, wait a minute, you lost me. Like, what's really going on? I don't know.
Yeah. Val said that Contessa's a flip-flopping liar. But you know what? Here's the thing with Quad, right?
Accurate.
I don't. It's not that I want her off the show, but she's on the show, and there's many people on other reality shows that are single, right? but she happens to be in the mix of all the ladies that are married, and she's the only single one. And that to me is why she's not fitting so well in this scenario, right? So if there was some other single ladies, see, what's her name? Carrie doesn't really hang around that much. And now you got Audra and her husband. You got all couples up in the building. And then you have Quad. So to me, she's like the odd person out. She's not really fitting in. She's there. And then when she has scenes, and even with the sex therapy, it was all couples, and then there's Quad. I just think that
who she's giving us?
What?
Kenya. Remember Kenya being the single one and either flirting or fighting with the other husbands?
Yeah.
Totally giving us that. That might be why we're already tired of it.
Yeah, it's not a good fit right now. So I'm not saying go out and rent a husband, buy a husband, find a husband, or none of that. But I'm also saying that she has to find a better way to kind of fit her scenario in this story, right? Because technically, I'm gonna be very honest with you, and you know I ain't the biggest Heavenly fan, but don't be talking to my husband, boy. I'm right here. You need to talk to me.
Exactly.
So, and especially since your question and your problem is with me, stay out my man's face. Don't be asking him because you trying to ask my husband to side with you. My husband ain't about to side with you, and I'm his wife. Sit down somewhere. Calm down. You're doing too much. You're doing the most right now. So, Quad is out of space. She's out of it in this particular group because she's the only single one. Where what you have, like the Real Housewives of Potomac, it's a mixed bag, right? But she is the only single one, and to me, she's not blending. She's not mixing well. And she always got to give high level dramatic. It doesn't always call for that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't think that Quad would act the same way if she was still married, because I like with you. I agree. I don't think that she should never address what's his name, Dr.
Daddy.
Damon. Yeah,
Daddy.
Period. Dr. Damon Daddy. Period. Never should have done it. But the fact that she did it, and then Heavenly was kind of squirming in her seat, like, I told you, don't talk to him, don't talk to him, don't talk to him. And then Andy kind of like put the battery in her back because Heavenly was not liking it at all. But I don't think that Quad would act the same way if she was married. I feel like she would have understood where Heavenly was coming from. Was like, hey, don't talk to him, talk to me. But because Dr. Daddy she doesn't have anyone to address besides Dr. Daddy, that's why she's trying to address him. If that makes any sense.
I respectfully disagree with you, darling.
Okay.
Quad was going to act that same way she is, married or not. Quad is just who she is, and she's too much. She's too big for her britches, and she need to be knocked down a peg or two because Quad is doing too much, and she done got this house, and it done gone to her head like she's so above everybody now. And then she driving them cars. Girl, please, you can only drive one car at a time.
But Toya, everyone on that show mixes with everybody. Eugene has questioned some of the women. The women have questioned some of the men. So I don't think it's fair to like, oh, talk to my wife or talk to my husband. If you're gonna ask a question in that group of dynamics, because we forget they're a group of friends. They just happen to have been or are married to medicine. So this whole thing of like, I didn't find it being a problem because Heavenly and Quad are close, and Heavenly's not really threatened by Quad's gonna come after Dr. Damon. I don't think Dr. Damon would be interested in Quad anyway. So I thought it was fair to ask a question.
Her not to ask him a question prior to them coming out there to sit back on that couch when they was back there eating lunch or whatever. Dr. Heavenly told her, because she said it on her channel, she told Quad not to ask her husband anything. That her problem was with her, not her husband.
But here's the thing,
so
Dr. Heavenly, but Tori, they asked Dr. Heavenly not to do a lot, but doesn't Dr. Heavenly do it anyway? So
well, true that.
If it wasn't for Dr. Heavenly, it wouldn't have been no damn show this season. How about that?
You can't have it both ways, Tori. You can't have it both ways. It's either
ways, as long as it was married to Dr. Heavenly.
No, not married.
So hold on.
Can I just interject? I just want to say.
Go ahead.
Can I just say one thing? I respect Dr. Heavenly and how she is about her man, though. If she told her, do not speak to her man, do not speak to her man. Like, she does not play about her man. And that's something, that's one good quality about her, not very much. I don't think she's a good friend, and I think she would turn on you in a minute, kind of. So I don't really like Heavenly. She has nasty ways too, you know. I see some nastiness in her.
She's messy, and look, we didn't get much out of this season but her messiness, so it was fun. If it wasn't for her, this season would have just totally tanked all the way, because I couldn't stand her prior to this season, but I had to actually rewatch a few episodes and sit back and be like, wow. If it wasn't for Dr. Heavenly, this show would have been boring.
But see, here's the thing. Hold on, guys. There's always a catalyst that makes the show, right? Usually, there's never a whole bunch of pockets of stuff that make the show. Let's keep it 100 with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Is Lisa Rinna and her antics, and it was Erica Jane for a couple of seasons. Right. So it's always focused on at least one big thing. It's never where we got like several things that we was like, oh, I can't wait till these are addressed at the show. And if it is several things, it's those several things focused around one thing, right? So, but let me just see this here. I think Quad is good for the show, and apparently production does as well. There's only one couple that she doesn't mix well with. Well, here's the thing. If you go back and look at the season, Quad wasn't really in too many other scenes outside of showing the scenes with her nephew, the party that she gave at her house, and then, you know, and then the scene where they had the big fight where they tried to do the intervention with Dr. Heavenly. So it's not like Quad has a lot of opportunities. Like when they did those pockets of dinners, because, and you know what, this would piss me off. Let me just back up for a minute. Andy didn't ask about that darn book.
He sure did not, and that made me so mad. Oh. But yet again, we always know, and even though I love Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone are always allowed to skate by every season, giving us nothing and still get a full paycheck. And I just don't like it. If we're going to be completely honest about it, as much as I have problem with one of these individuals, Dr. Heavenly, Quad, and Toya Bush Harris carry this season on their backs.
100%.
Literally.
Yes.
Quad
and the difference between Rinna and Dr. Heavenly is Rinna does things to hurt people. Physically can get people hurt, and it's daggone messy, and what she did to children and everything else. Dr. Heavenly ain't none of that. She's just messy funny. So she's not doing it to
Wait, hold on. We can say that she's not on the same exact level as Lisa Rinna. I will agree with that 100%. But when you're talking about a husband and wife, and that's come on, that's hurtful and that's messy. And when you and regardless, I keep saying this, right? It doesn't matter what was already out there, but somebody can give a story life by keep talking about it. So you know, so the story was given more life because she was going on her YouTube channel. And all your heavenly angels, y'all can love her till the day is long, but we got to tell the truth where the truth is. If right now I was like, oh, my husband, I can't stand him, he's messy, he's this, he's that, right? And I said it here to everybody. And if the next live, everybody keeps asking me, well, what about your husband? And then 5 other content creators say they add to the story or whatever. Oh, diva husband, is going to live longer. But if it only happens right here, right now, for one live, it can be here, stay here, and get buried here.
So that's not really that's not an honest approach to this on a way.
And if that's the case, why did Contessa come into the season talking about it? If that was the case, why did Contessa keep bringing it up?
If the media
Contessa kept breathing life into it just as much Heavenly as bringing life into it.
If the media
because she was hurt.
She was
hurt.
There would not be anything we could do. But because the medium that Contessa told all her business that Heavenly told her to STFU about, because she did that, we get to talk about it over and over and over and over again because it lives in this medium. Maybe if it was a book that nobody ever got, if it got stopped publishing or something, or an article and all the magazines burned, or a newspaper that went out of print or something like that. But having it in digital format, something that we could forever rewind, there's always going to be those talks. There's nothing that was going to stop it. That's why the questions were at the live where she was. So that's
why I have to disagree, because I think it could have been stopped, but Heavenly kept it on going, and that's her friend. She should not have kept it going. Okay,
let's be clear.
Contessa was hurt.
Let's hear Tiffany, boy. Let's hear Tiffany.
Contessa was hurt. Okay, Contessa was hurt. I felt her hurt. Shut the hell up, Heavenly. Stop going on that YouTube talking about my husband. Okay, who cares if she did it? It would have been gone. But Dr. Heavenly on her YouTube, with her everything else, she kept it going, and even on the show.
Tiffany, can I ask you a question? So sure. Why was Contessa going on said YouTube channel and helping Heavily drag her husband based on every episode that the problems of their marriage were being shown not to us in the world? Why would Contessa do that?
Because that's how she felt at the time. Okay, that's how she felt. She was angry at her man. I've been there.
And you're gonna go to a public platform and dismantle your man for everyone to have an opinion about.
You got a point.
And
no,
let's be clear. No, because it's the truth. Let's be clear as well. Once Heavenly and Contessa fell out,
she made a mistake. Okay, have anybody ever made a mistake and told the wrong person something that you wasn't supposed to run your mouth about?
Not on a public platform. Not on a public platform for everybody to see.
Okay, wait, Smoke. Give me the time out for 1 second. Come on, Tiffany. Let's talk the facts here, right? Have you ever told the wrong person something and you regretted it? Yes or no?
Diva.
Hold on.
You talking to me or Smoke?
You.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Smoke.
I have not done it on a public platform where everyone can see it.
Tiffany, they don't want to confess the facts.
Tell the truth. It's different.
Smoke. Yes or no?
Not on a public platform, no.
No, listen. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Even though you didn't say it on the public platform, once you tell one wrong person, everybody's gonna know. So the answer is yes.
No.
Queen B, because Smoke is deflecting. He's doing all kind of flip flops and dancing around. When the answer is yes.
I'm standing 10 toes down and with my hands in the sand. I have not done that as a grown adult when I know better and I know not to put my personal business out there for someone to have an opinion about. My big old age at 30. How old is Contessa? She is in her mid 40s going on 50.
Now Tiffany, they won't put an age on it, Tiffany. Now they won't put an age on it. Queen B, yes or no?
I agree with Smoke.
See?
Not only is it an age thing, Contessa has more education than me. She has
not at this grown age, not at this grown adult, educated, knowledgeable,
doctoral age.
No, listen. We're talking about the place of vulnerability. A vulnerable place. My 41-year-old butt. Then say something.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Toria, yes or no? Toria.
Oh no, she's still at her polling place right now. She said
she's ready.
Yeah.
Okay. She just said goodnight.
Okay, she said goodnight. Okay. Sheila, yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, when I was younger. Learned better now.
Now you want to say just when y'all was younger. Everybody's so wise now, Tiffany. We the only ones, Tiffany. We the only ones. Everybody's so wise now. All right, go ahead, Mo Better. Yes or no?
At my young age of 31, yes, I have.
Boy, yeah. Boy, yeah.
I'm gonna hold my feet to the fire, 10 toes down, hands and everything else. No, I have never done that.
Oh my God!
That I don't want out. I don't expose myself. I'm very careful of who I tell what, and if I tell it,
so nobody else has a glass of wine and then confess something.
No.
Wait, hold on one second, guys. Flip, that's what I'm talking about, Flip. It's the lies for me. The lies.
You want to call us a lie? Come on and do it. Come on and do it, Flip.
Didn't your mother tell you keep inside business? Inside. That's what my mama told me. Keep inside business.
They upset because they run around telling their business and people spreading all their stuff. And for those of
Thank
us
you.
Thank you.
Get your tissue, diva. Get your tissue.
We got hers. We got hers too.
You know what? It doesn't mean that it happened a lot.
It's the lies for me, Candy. It's the lies, okay? But anyway, we mad, Tiffany, because we tell our business. Come on,
yes, especially somebody we trust.
Exactly.
But
I'm not sure why Heavenly ain't got slapped. I mean, you know.
Well, apparently she did. Contessa ran on her.
Wait, hold on, guys. Tucker, you're right. We got to bring this into the conversation. Damon and Contessa.
That's who should have got slapped. If I was Dr. Heavenly, I would have jumped across that stage and slapped Dr. Contessa. When my husband is being respectful and trying to apologize to you, and you still puffing up your chest at him, and this man is sitting here being humble, trying to see where you are coming from, and he wants to apologize to you, and you still puffing up your chest and getting smart. Now that's who I would slap. Don't disrespect my husband because he's not disrespecting you.
Okay, I don't think she was disrespecting him. She was just kind of like, okay, you're gonna have your wife's back. I already know that. So of course, I expect that. But did she really get disrespectful? I have to go back.
She did disrespect him because she continuously.
And they have to tell her to let him speak. She cut him off. And Anila's husband, Dr. Cameron, had to stop everybody and say, please let Damon finish. And even Damon made the point, like, this is why I can't be around because y'all cut me. Like he said, he's slow to speak because he thinks about what he says. He has his words measured. So as he's trying to speak, Contessa is cutting him off. Meanwhile, he's trying to humble himself and apologize to her for something that 90% of us don't even think that he did wrong. And he's still apologizing for something where he wasn't in the wrong, and she would not stop talking to let him speak. So that's why she needs to get slapped.
He was kind of taking his wife's side, though. He was kind of taking his wife's side, but don't quote me because I have to go back and watch it again. But he was kind of taking his wife's side a little bit, right? Was he? Or am I wrong?
No,
I have to go back and look at it.
He was trying to apologize to her. So even if he said, like, a man is you're gonna always take your wife's, you should always take your wife's side in public, right?
Oh no, mine better.
Even if he was standing up for Heavenly, he still said, I recognize that you felt a way in that situation, and I never want to be disrespectful to you or the women. He was still trying to apologize to her. So I think that's maybe all she heard was, he taking up for his wife. And that's maybe where angst came in.
She always only hears something.
Oh my God. Hold on one second. Mo Better, what do you want to say?
Sorry, I had to raise my hand because y'all I can't jump in. there's two women in Bravo that need to have testosterone shots to get away from them, as Robin and Contessa.
And they both displayed a form of alleged, what could be seen as roid rage things, where they just like
roid rage. Yeah.
Listen, I don't think Heavenly wants to smoke with Contessa because Contessa looks like she can do damage. She can do damage. I mean, I wouldn't want to see Contessa in the streets because she's muscular.
She can go to jail too if she put her hands on Dr. Heavenly, because that's what's gonna happen. We are calling the police and she going straight down to DeKalb County. You hear me? Right on up in there. Secondly, she gonna stop.
Hold on now, warrior. We gonna call the popo on.
We are board certified. We board certified, baby. We are board certified. We have our own.
She be acting like she got the smoke. She be acting like
we got 5 dogs. Allura is getting ready to go to college. We don't have time for this kind of foolishness. Heavenly already said, if somebody put their hands on her, we are getting off this TV show.
But why she talk so much? Why she be jumping up on the lawsuit?
Because we do that. Secondly, this is the second time, not the first, but the second time that Contessa has disrespected Dr. Damon. Wow, he was waiting.
When was the first?
We talk and have conversation. The first time was at Simone's house at the dinner table when he was trying to get his point across, and she completely cut him off after Heavenly asked, "Can you please shut up and let Damon talk?" And then you proceed to tell her to shut the F up so disrespectfully. If y'all want to catch that, you can go back and watch Diva's replays because we had a whole time conversation about that. But yes,
I think I watched that. But I don't want to tell nobody to TFU.
Ask you not to disrespect him. You continuously disrespect him. You're talking over him. He's trying to give you an apology, but you're running your mouth too much to receive anything that he's trying to say. He was trying to explain why, because Andy asked him, what did you think was BS about their relationship? He couldn't even give his explanation because you too busy trying to run over your tracks to make sure that you're covered, because you know you've been lying all season and making up stuff. So
she was already too mad. She was too mad. I mean, Heavenly get too much.
She's so mad because she keeps lying and she keeps having a lie to keep up with the lie that she told.
And she knows that Dr. Damon is believing her.
She pulled out a voicemail to try to make her and Jackie look bad. But then when you played the voicemail, it was exactly what Jackie and Heavenly said. And then when Andy asked you, what are you talking about? You sat there and you looked stupid, like you've been looking all season, because you lying. The lies.
Heavenly needs to quit being so dang nasty. Quit being so nasty. Like, it's almost like a sinister part about her.
I never talked to you about my marriage. Why would I get advice from you for my marriage?
Yeah, that's
girl.
crazy.
You sat on national TV and tried to get advice from Simone,
All
Toya.
She did. So don't run your mouth about it when I deny it.
She even asked you
I'm so sorry, you guys. I didn't mean to involve you in this. You know, Scott it's going to be okay. We'll be fine. Girl.
It's what happens. Wasn't that discussion earlier? Sometimes you mad. Scott wasn't doing no good. And now it's time to make up. Now you shut the hell up, Heavenly.
Tiffany, can I ask you something? Can I ask you something, Tiffany?
Manipulator.
Yes.
Do you want to replace Contessa on season 9 or for season 10? Because the spot will be open. We're not holding her. We'll be more than glad to have you.
I'm all right with her. I'm okay with her. I like the whole time. Except for, you know what? I don't like Quad. I find Quad inauthentic. I don't like Quad. Let's replace Quad.
So wait. Hold on one second, because you know the heavenly angels, they get worked up over here. Okay,
that's all right.
They get worked up over here, and you know, it don't save me. You know, Tiffany, the heavenly angels do just like Heavenly.
You know what? We never apologize, though.
We never apologize, and we speak the facts.
Okay. Well,
I hate some of those same characteristics. That's why I don't get offended.
Yeah, she gets
because I kind of like Heavenly movie.
Empty apologies. She gets empty apologies. So what else do we want to talk about? I mean, the end. I'm talking about the old shot. I'm breaking out the strippers.
Can we talk about Quad versus Eugene? Because that was fun to watch.
Oh, that was good. Yeah. That was good.
Let's do that.
I mean, I find Quad very inauthentic. I don't like Quad. The way she did, kind of like I'm kind of a little bitter about how she did Mariah, how they was best friends, how Mariah brought her on, and how they kind of fell out. That was ugly. And I don't see Quad's place. I think she's inauthentic in it, sort of. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I just don't like her that much.
I think Quad is just whatever happened in Quad's childhood or her upbringing, she's had to be compensate for something. So yes, the dramatics and all that, that's just who Quad is. And even Funky Dineva has confirmed that's her upbringing. But as far as I heard, like Dr. Eugene, I thought that was a long time coming because are y'all hearing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can everybody mute real quick? Well, sure. Go ahead, Paul.
I don't know how to do it, but I'll be quiet.
Okay.
Oh no, I see it.
Yeah, so basically, Toya and Eugene have been gunning at Quad as soon as her and Dr. G were having issues in their marriage, and especially when Quad said she was divorcing him, taking shots at confessionals, saying things about like, when Quad was not around, well, we your friends, we want you to be around. But then the couple strips come around, well, you can't come because you're single. That was what Toya said to Quad, and Quad was like, I don't care if I'm single, dating, whatnot, I'm still going to be around in this group. So she has honestly been holding off from it, and this like season was it. I thought it was rightly just. And I had to actually look up what T-Gel was. So basically, she's saying basically he has the lice in his head. And apparently and also according to Dr. Heavenly, because she did a live with Carlos King, she said that back and forth between Quad and Dr. Eugene was a lot worse than what we actually saw on the actual show. So I'm just saying, like, Eugene, Contessa had to call you a big B. You called the women a bunch of N-words at a heritage reveal. Mm-hmm. You're constantly in the women's business. So when you get in the mud with them, do not expect them to fight fair. I know you really
don't forget he was DMing Anila talking about Heavenly and Quad as well.
Who's doing that? Who is doing that? Why was that not on the show? So my thing is, Eugene is doing this. So it's like, if you do not want people to be talking about you, then stop being in the women's discussions or getting dirty with it. Because here's the thing: when Quad takes a shot, she don't miss. So she just blew your head off, and your wife was just sitting there, just dripping in blood. Like, well, I told him not to. So I'm just over Eugene. Hopefully he learns his lesson and he finds his balls somewhere in the next season and, gets back to himself and finds his purpose. Because right now it seems like Toya is wearing the pants, the panties, has the purse straps and everything in between in their marriage. And Eugene is just there as a loyal and faithful servant who works but does get no pleasure. And that's all I got to say.
So okay, I'm gonna go around and we'll end this with talking about Eugene unless there's something y'all want to add after that. But let me just say this: Toya does not help by the way that she doesn't even respect her own husband on the show, right? Eugene, what happens is Eugene gets in his feelings, and when he gets in his feelings, he doesn't particularly see a person. He sees someone that's pissing him off, right? So, and that's why he's mad at Dr. Karen, because Dr. Karen got into Eugene's feelings, okay? He pissed him off with the whole mood thing. So Quad is just pissing him off because she's constantly digging up in them. And so he's not seeing it as like, you know what, Quad is a woman, I'm gonna let Toya deal with her. He's just coming to address it because he's in his feelings. Do I believe wholeheartedly that Eugene is in his feelings more about what Toya says about him? Oh, wholeheartedly, absolutely. I mean, what man would not? But this is where I commend him as a husband. I commend him for not showing those feelings and addressing them on TV. Because their whole relationship on that TV could be a whole hot mess if he handled her differently on the TV. So, it's always good when you have a couple and one part of that couple can handle things better than the other, because then you don't get this mess on TV. So Scott and Contessa, all of this played out on TV because neither one of them knew how to balance it out so it wouldn't play out on TV the way that it did. So, and I also, again, I commend Jackie And I go in and out with Jackie, and I discover what I love about Dr. Jackie is I love the way that she's a doctor. I really feel wholeheartedly that this woman cares so much about women's health. And I connect with that piece of Dr. Jackie. And for me, I get it. Listen, and I also want to say this. I love the fact that all of these people can get this reality check the way that they're getting it, right? So before all of these Real Housewives, Married to Medicine, traditionally, people like us would not have had the opportunity to rake in that type of cash, to have those type of opportunities, and to win the way that they're winning. Do I wish that they would do it better? I do, wholeheartedly, because I think they're missing out on some additional cash because they get so hooked in the petty and pitting at each other. They should behind the scenes or coordinate to figure out how do we bring enough mess to get our check but still make our money and still not tear down the real relationships and the real friendships that we have. That's just my thought on that. And I think that too, and I'll let you come and smoke. I think that too, and I heard someone else said it, because a lot of them, their livelihood depends on that check, that allows them to go even gutter low so that they can keep getting the check. If they would truly, and this is respectfully, I'm saying this, Real Housewives that could depend on living their lifestyle without that check, I think a lot of what shows on the screen, they would be showing up differently. Yeah. So I'll come around, and so and Dr. Eugene, I think Toya, how old is Toya? Is she 40?
She's in her 40s.
She should know better. She should know better. Yeah. To me, she got to show up better. One thing I will say, and I said this before, and even though I'm not a big fan of Dr. Heavenly, the way she handles her marriage, I love it. I love it. And I wholeheartedly believe that. Like, I'm not going to be in these streets. You would never see me in the streets disrespecting my husband. Now, what'll happen when we get behind the door about what I'm pissed off about? He gonna hear my mouth because I got a little mouth for me, right? But I'm not going to be in the streets doing that. I'm not going to disrespect my man in the streets. You would never know. You would see us and think we the perfect couple. But if I had an issue, when we closed that door, I'd be like, yo, what you did at that party, I wasn't even feeling it. Like I don't get down like that. But I'm not going to say that in front of all these people. I would never do that. So go ahead, Smoke. What do you want to say? And we're going to close this thing out. So tell me your final thoughts. Can you hear me, Smoke, or did I freeze?
No, you're still here.
No, I think Smoke froze.
Oh, Smoke froze. Okay, Twin B, what are your final thoughts?
Overall, I think it was a good season. I like that we get a little bit of mess and a little bit of medicine. And I feel like a lot of people say Dr. Jackie and Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, they kind of skate by, but they are the personification of what we would call Black excellence. And they're there to keep that balance on the show, because if it was just all mess and no medicine, we would get tired of it, and we would get tired of seeing ourselves represented in negative ways. So I think that everybody has a role, and that's their role. Now, may it look like it's not as grand as everybody else's role, but every part of the ship, that's funny. Every part of the ship works together to make sure that ship can stay out in sea, right? Yeah. With Quad, I think Quad is a good addition to keep in the show, because that's real life. You have friends that get divorced, and it's like you don't throw them away because they're divorced. Sometimes they still hang out in the group. They still hang out with Dr. G probably from time to time. So I'm pretty sure the men do from time to time. So in real life, you don't throw away your friends just because they're divorced or just because they're single, or there's certain places and like that you be like, all right, we going on a couples thing. So of course you were single. I don't need to be on a couples thing, but just overall, just throwing them away because they're single. No, Quad is there she's there to stir up the mess, because she's not medicine. So she's there to stir up the mess. And when she was gone, it was a notable absence. I don't think it was the season.
Yes, it was, Diva. Last season before Quad came in, it was dead and dry as a turkey breast.
Oh.
A turkey breast what? A couple of days after Thanksgiving?
No juice, no flavor, nothing. As soon as Quad came in that mid-season, that's when the show actually picked up.
Right. So, and Dr. Contessa, we all know that she used her beef with Dr. Heavenly as a storyline. She put out all of that information and she was trying to figure out how can I regain, how can I retell the story? And she playing in our faces like we all didn't sit there for years watching the demise of her and her husband's relationship. And kudos to them that they stuck it out and they stayed together because we all love. But what would have really saved Contessa was if she came on and been transparent about how they worked through their issues. For you not to mention it at all and blame it all on Dr. Heavenly as if we you trying to make us think we crazy. So that's where it was I sis, I sat here and watched this entire thing for years. You trying to make me think I'm crazy. So I appreciate the show. I appreciate the way they have mess and medicine. Anila, I think her family dynamic does add something. And, some people said that she's the affirmative action hire. We could take that or leave that. But her, she does have a funny family dynamic. Sometimes it's not the character, but it's the characters around the characters that, that give to the show. So overall, I think it was a good season. Eugene, if you don't want to get drugged by somebody, if you don't want somebody to snatch you and tell you about yourself, then you need to stay out of the mess. You can't get messy if you're not in the mess. So that's my thing to Eugene. And I don't think Quad needed a man sitting behind her to protect her or nothing like that, because I think Quad has the wisdom and the words to go back and forth with anybody. She might not be wise about all things, but she does have some wisdom when she's a wordsmith. She knows how to utilize words. We just said she be giving Martin Luther King speeches. She knows what
You did say that, Diva. You did say that she likes to give MLK speeches.
So you're not
I had a dream that I was gonna have 14,000 square foot home, and I was gonna be able to pay the contractor $150K on my own. And I'm gonna take a polygraph test, and that test is gonna prove my innocence, okay? And although it may not be admissible in court, it's admissible here at Reunion Part 3. Can I get an amen?
Overall, good season. Thank God for Dr. Heavenly, Quad, and Toya did add to boost up the show. But everybody plays their role. So
hold on, y'all, because I get y'all saying they carried the show. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead with that, but you gotta give it up to Anila. You gotta give it up to Dr. Karen. You gotta give it up to Ms. Gomez, okay? And you gotta give it up to Anila's mom, because yes, they all gave us great moments on the show, okay?
Yes, I love her mom. I think her mom is funny. Some people don't like mothers like that, but as a first generation American, most parents outside of America, most parents from other countries are like that. They in your business, they tell you what to do, you don't tell them what to do. That is familiar to me. So it's funny because she reminds me of my aunties and stuff. That's how they act.
And not only that, Steven, I wanted to add to that, because I saw someone in the comments saying that what Quad did about, I guess, the thing with the break-in and whatnot, Neil's house, that was unwarranted. Well, it was also unwarranted that when it came out that Dr. G was physically abusive to Quad, that Toya came back on that same reunion stage and said that he ain't say that. And completely dismissing that fact. So we're not going to sit here and play that Quad's ammunition is just coming out of nowhere, and Toya and Eugene are innocent bystanders. That's what we not gonna do. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, what are we talking about? Eugene was abusive to Quad?
No. It was when Dr. G and Quad, it was the season 6 reunion where she was wearing the blue, and they had their her husband Greg, thank you. They had their last sit down together. And like basically it just sparked off, and basically like things were happening where he was tearing stuff out of their house. She said he drugged me through the house, he ruined her knee, and he said he would drive. They got in the car and he put his foot on his cell. He's like, I don't care if I killed the both of us. So basically there was physical abuse in the relationship, but it's like the cast watched that and they came back on set, and Toya was like, oh, he didn't say that, and it's like, we just saw her say that and he didn't like combat it. He basically said like we were abusive towards each other. So you did put your hands on Quad, and Toya completely just dismissed that part. So that's why I'm like, people
I don't remember that.
Right, but that's what people like to say that people like to say, oh, Quad's not necessary to show, or Quad's just being absolutely messy. I was like, y'all have to like, if y'all need an Xfinity login, I'm happy to give y'all mine so y'all can watch the full Married to Medicine series so you can understand why these relationship dynamics are where they are in the place they are right now. They're not just starting from season 9. They actually, the thing I love about Married to Medicine is they have a continuity, so it's always, it ebbs and flows. So it's not just like something's just starting at random and we're gonna go with this. Like, no, they actually like it carries from one season to the next. So I'm like, I'm a big team Quad, even her extraness and even her 1 hour speeches that they have to edit together on the show. So let's not do that.
Well, how do you feel about how she kind of fell out with Mariah when Mariah put her on? How do you feel about that?
My thing is, I think they both were responsible in the demise of that friendship. Both of them played a part in that. Granted, I feel like they're the same in that way. They're the same in that way where they have such a big ego that they can't come together and say, I'm sorry or I'm wrong. Granted, yes, Mariah did bring her on and whatnot, but I didn't like the fact that when they fell out, all of a sudden, Quad slept with her sister, her former brother-in-law. But make this make sense. Quad slept with your sister's husband, but then a couple months later, you're gonna stand in her wedding and then put her on the same reality platform as you?
I know, but what about her saying Mariah was on drugs though? How low was that?
That was low. I don't really believe that. I don't think Mariah did drugs, but then Quad says you never know.
Okay, so okay. That's all I gotta say is okay. Roy, what are your final thoughts?
Oh, I have so many final thoughts, but I'm gonna sum it up into at least 2 minutes, y'all. Okay.
2 minutes.
Get it past the 2 minutes. Let me have 2 minutes of your time this evening.
Okay.
All right. Smoke, we were on Instagram talking the other night, and I had to get my bounds, on what I felt about that Eugene and Toya and Quad situation. Quad held her ground, and Eugene did not back down. And for me, I was more upset with Toya because yet again, here you are allowing Eugene to fight battles. Why are you not speaking up? I just don't understand. I feel like it was very just, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I'm glad that Quad she is a wordsmith and she can fire him off. I feel like she kind of reminds me a lot of Nene once she kind of gets upset and into that mode that she just whatever's kind of coming out and whatever it is what it is, because, that's just like she made the comment about a skirt. And he was like, yeah, I thought you was going to buy me a skirt. Well, I don't know which size to buy you. I mean, oof.
Like, I wish we would have seen it.
Giving them. But overall, season 9 was so good. And someone said this earlier in our reviews. I love Married to Medicine because every season they pull us in, they end us on a good note, we get a reunion, and they kind of prep us for that next season. I love seeing the Fab Five back together. We got Quad, Toya, Dr. Heavenly, Jackie, and Simone, the original Married to Medicine crew, that has been carrying us for these 9 seasons. So I love it. Dr. Simone and Cecil, I'm upset that we did not hear nothing about this book. And I am definitely going to tweet Andy because we need to revisit this next season and we need to call y'all out about not having this book together. Y'all had a whole 6 months to figure something out.
And 2 dinners. 2 dinners.
3
dinners.
That book is not coming out because they don't want to air all their stuff.
Yeah.
They're not going to air all their stuff.
And 2 meetings with Omarosa. So there was no excuse at all. I'm upset with them about that.
Well, yeah,
Dr. Jackie, I am so proud that Dr. Jackie came in this season. We're still big on women's health. She touched on the LGBT community, women going in to, have those areas down there checked in. She's got her, and shout out to Dr. Simone for her skin cream butter. Yes, go girl. Dr. Jackie's got her anti-aging. She's got her book,
her spa.
I want her and Curtis to get it together too. The 4 of them need to go somewhere and all get it together because Curtis and Simone and Cecil and Simone and Jackie and Curtis, just that whole, on the outside y'all trying to make it play well, but on the inside it do not play well at all. We see it.
Yeah, it's coming through on the TV. Who said Kate? Thank you so much for the super stick. I truly appreciate it. It's coming through that. It's coming through. It's coming through. It's not showing up to us as love.
No.
I don't know. It's showing up
to us like so long, and it's cheaper to keep her. That's what it's giving. It's cheaper to keep her. That's what it's giving on both ends.
No, it's better to keep her. Not cheaper.
No. In this case, it's cheaper to keep him.
That's why I said cheaper to keep him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both cheaper of them. To keep him. Yeah, both of them.
Yeah. Toya, next season when you come back, you will be like Contessa this season, and you will not talk about your husband. You will not mention anything negative about your husband. You're going to get under Heavenly's tutelage this next couple of months, and you're going to take some resources from Dr. Heavenly
and
Dr.
learn.
Damien, and you're going to take them back home, and you or Eugene are going to get it together, because this is a couple. Though I have issues with Toya, my only issue with her majorly is that she continues to disrespect a man who has covered you, protected you, provided for you, sustained you. Let's really talk about it. So do y'all remember when Eugene said,
Hold on. You said covered, protected, sustained, and what else? Provided. Oh, amen. You know what? I played on that one. I like that, honey. You know what? But you know what though? No, all jokes aside, that's facts. That's facts. I do not like. Yeah. Yes, you're right. Come on, that's facts. Okay. I do not like the way that she treats him on this screen. I really don't. No. It's deplorable. It's deplorable. Yeah, it really is. Yeah,
that is my only issue I have with Toya.
He never even talks to her sideways.
Never.
Yeah.
So it's this is a couple.
She told him to go get some hot sauce for her food.
Huh?
Yeah. She told him to go get some hot sauce for her food after he didn't work all day. Remember at the barbecue? And Heavenly was like, "No, I'm getting my man's food."
Yeah.
She didn't ask for hot sauce. She walked in the scene.
Give her some hot sauce.
He has to work. He has to cook. Not only does he provide, we forgot that he cooks, he cleans, he cares for the. And to me, I understand her loneliness, but she comes off kind of selfish. COVID was a lot, and especially for those working in the medical field. So while you're sitting here dealing with your feelings, who's covering Eugene and his feelings? And the reason why he probably stayed away from them a lot is because he didn't know if he contracted it and didn't want to pass it on to his family. So not only was he saving lives in the hospital, but he made sure he came home and kind of kept to himself so that he would save your life. So that even if he get taken out from trying to save the world, that his family and his legacy is still here to be left behind and prosper. So I think she does have to take that into consideration. Like it wasn't a thing he did on purpose, and give him a little bit of grace right? And I think that's what Toya doesn't do. She doesn't give Eugene grace.
But Toya doesn't give herself grace either. And that's a lot of the issue too. She's so hard on herself trying to impress people. And we need to cut this impressing people stuff out. Because impressing people keeps getting y'all broke, keep getting y'all in rentals, keep getting y'all in liens and all this other stuff. Y'all remember last episode when Eugene said that he lost $200,000? Y'all remember when they tried to buy that house and it fell through?
Oh yeah.
That's where that $200,000 that he was talking about that they lost and it fell through, and that's why they went through that struggle, along with the taxes and the liens and everything else. But that's what I want for Toya. I want Toya to get on next season, find something positive to talk about, and stop disrespecting this man. Because I'm like Dr. Heavenly. I'm not here for no marriage breaking up. I want to see every marriage win. As long as we are in a protected, safe, stable, loving marriage, I want to see you win. I want to see you do great. And I want to see you succeed. 2 more people and then I'm done. Anila. I love Anila. And this opinion may be because I've been reading a lot and listening to a lot of blogs and other stuff. Anila does not naturally fit into the friend group. And I think that's going to be an issue if we continue on.
You bought that
I feel like that it will give an excuse to automatically mistreat her. Because Cass already does. She was given no respect at that reunion. No respect. And I feel like she tried to hold it down as much as she could, but she was given no respect. And they're going to continue to do it, especially now that they see that Anila can't hold her own. The only people that would be able to fight for her is Heavenly and Quad. And at this point, I don't know if Quad will fight for her because she didn't stand up for Quad. So it's not looking too good. But I would like to see Anila back for another season, though. I would like to, because I definitely enjoyed Karen, and she got on my nerves, but her mama was hilarious.
Mama got to come back. Mama got to come back.
Let me say this for you here. First of all, we got to get used to dealing with other people, right? We can't wonder why we can't get along if we're not willing to be in a room with others so we can try to figure things out and get along, right? So the only way to do it is to just do it. And so I think Anila and Dr. Karen, listen, in my neighborhood, it's a mixed bag. That I've met a lot of cool people. That man is super cool, super down to earth, and he knows how to stand his ground. He's like, whatever, Eugene, get out your feelings. It was funny. And let's be clear, it's a jokey joke. And to go, you have moved. It's not like he made something up. So the thing is, when you don't heal from something, then you're always going to be hurt by that something. And so the fact that you wasn't healed from that you all been moving 27 times and moving that much is a hot mess. Okay. And it's not even stable for your kids. Now, they lucky that the kids go to a private school. So no matter how many times y'all move, they can still go to that same school. You're just going to have to drive. But my thing is, it's not even stable for them to keep having friends over there, here, there, unless you're in the army. And that's what you do, right? Y'all move like that. And you go from station to station, but that's not what they're doing. So my thing is, we got to stop all of a sudden, because she has a husband. Quad don't got no husband and is married to medicine. So if Quad can stay, surely Anila and her husband could stay, who contributed a lot to this season.
And I want them to. Yeah, but I don't think that it would be accepted. I feel like now that the ladies see that Anila can't hold her own, they're always going to try to.
But you know what, though, maybe they cut it out. But to me, Anila held on. Because if I would have got beat down at Quad's house, no, I would have been at that reunion talking to Andy. Yo, they put that. But guess what Anila did? She stood there like a champ, and she took it, and she took the Kathy Hilton message, silence is golden. She didn't say word. She got the hands. They put paws on her. And she would have been within her right to say, yo, Andy, they was thugs at that darn house, at that Hollis slave party. Put their hands on me. But Anila, she didn't. She in it to win it. And I'm just saying that, you know what? She is standing her own in a different kind of way. And she's going to find her way as it goes on and on. And they pissed me off. Tiffany, do me a favor, mute for a minute, because I think the noise is coming from your thing, right? They pissed me off when they want to say that, oh, her mother was out of place and couldn't be around.
Yeah.
I think that was so messy. I think that was so unfair. Your auntie was up in your Hollis Slay party, Quad, acting a fool. Y'all can't tell this lady house that she done bought, that she done think that they call her own.
Diva, auntie had too much crown that night.
She did.
If we can have her there, then why can't Anila's mom be here? Like, don't do that. Stop it. Okay? Yeah. We had Mariah's mom was around all the time. Blasting people upside the hat with the pocketbook and all of that. So y'all mad that Anila's mom is coming to the party telling us she ain't gonna get that shot? Let me tell you something. These are facts. My mother's in her 70s. To this day, she was like, isn't that skirt too short? I'm like, Mom, please. I just came over here to bring you something. Leave me alone, like right now, okay? My mother was like, how much are you eating? I'm like, Ma, don't do that. You know what I mean? So your parents, to the day they leave this earth, they're going to be up in your business. I didn't find any problem with Anila's mom being there. I felt like they was being extra because it was Anila's mom. Oh, I didn't feel comfortable. You didn't feel comfortable being around her mom, but you feel comfortable being around each other, and y'all all are not that far off from Anila's mom's age. Like, stop. So we got to stop the nonsense, and we got to learn how to blend. It's not that difficult. Blend and knock it the heck off.
I'm here for Anila coming back. I want her back because that dingy quirkiness is hilarious to me. I love it.
I just changed my mind. That's all I can say. I just changed my mind.
Yeah, Anila and her husband, like it be the characters that surround you, not always you all the time. Anila and her husband in the confessionals, they be so funny, and then her mother is just the icing on the.
Well, I had this homie. I had this homegirl, friend, because like I said, I hold friends close to me. I kind of have this friend mentality, okay, when her and Toya fell out, I felt like Toya been knowing them way longer and they been cool with them. And then Anila, she brings Anila in the group. Anila's meshing and everything, but then they went against each other. So I kind of felt like, I've been knowing you for 7 seasons? 7 seasons. How you just gonna be cool with her? So I kind of had that mentality for a minute. But you're right. Yeah. Anila brought a lot, and she was really cool. But I felt like they needed to be more loyal to Toya at the time. If that makes sense.
Toya wasn't being a good friend to Anila, and she
wasn't. So hold on, let me say this, and we about to close out, guys, because I got to come back tomorrow with Love and Marriage Huntsville. Lorraine said, I also think that Anila husbands do not understand the brotherhood these men have. The conversation went over his head, the camaraderie. I think it is understood by him. And if you notice, Dr. Karen, see, the thing is sometimes people punk out. They all thought that joke was hilarious at the Halloween party. They thought it was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Because it was hilarious, right? But the thing is, because they are close to Eugene, they tried to be sensitive to his feelings. And that's why Dr. Karen pretty much said, Cecil, stop it. You was rolling over on the floor laughing. And now you're trying to act like it wasn't funny. Okay. And then even Curtis said it. He said it at the reunion. He was like, yo, Eugene, this was what they did was benign. What you did to me was brutal. Okay. You was brutal. He said, so all of them behind the scenes, they thought it was funny. Dr. Damon, Dr. Daddy, he thought it was funny. So it was a goddamn joke. It was a jokey joke. And guess what? It was a very good joke. It was a funny joke because you're constantly moving. And the reason why you move, you're telling straight up lies. And you want to do reality? Be truthful. We messed up with our funds. We already know y'all not good with the money because when y'all first got introduced to us, y'all was behind on your taxes. and your husband had to work 99 shifts to get you out of debt. And the second he came home and he told you he gave the IRS the last check, you
Let's
said
party.
And then
we out the bread. We in the black. Let's party.
And you threw a party. And you threw a party.
And then I'm done. I swear, y'all. One more thing and then I'm done. Dr. Heavenly. It was all about Auntie Heavenly this season 9, boy. Yes, Heavenly Angels, come on with you. Yes. We are so proud of Dr. Heavenly. We got the hair store opening off the ground. We were able to reconnect with some friendships. We got the Golden Girls back together. And we even made our own t-shirt. Kiss our and climb a tree. Hey!
Yes. And a soundtrack and a song to go with it.
And the commercial. Yes. Smoke, you ain't no good. Smoke, you ain't no good. Yeah.
The truth. Heavenly's story has been consistent since episode 1 all the way up until the end. She gave us drama. She gave us laughs. She gave us emotion. Heavenly dealt with a lot this season. She lost her mom. Yeah. You know, she was dealing with stuff in her marriage. Alora, this is her final senior year in high school. We were transitioning. We're going through menopause. Life happened to us. Heavenly was still able to be a good friend. She was still able to go through the season with all the drama, semantics, and everything else. She was lied on. She was cheated. She was disrespected. She was taken advantage of. And yet and still, she made it to the end on the top of the charts as the #1 Married to Medicine fan favorite of the season. We thank you, fans, and we thank you, Bravo. Thank you, Eva, for this opportunity this season. I can't wait to see you back next season, season 10, to stir up some more mess with my crew.
Folks hate watch Heavenly. Come on.
Yeah.
They hate watch Heavenly. Because
hold on, flip, the delusion continues. Okay? The delusion continues, okay?
As y'all continue to follow Contessa. Yes, it does.
Yeah, come on, Fifi. The violence. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh my gosh.
So exactly. She knew the assignment. All right, Heavenly Angels, okay? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go find me some wings this weekend because y'all just team too much. And then you know what, Flip, right here, I'm gonna start out with the wings on my back and then I'm gonna clip them off. Clip them off. Clip, okay?
Diva, don't be a hater, dear.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No, if y'all watch Dr. Heavenly, she gives out sound advice. She says that she throws out the mess so that you can get the message. If you go to her YouTube channel, looking for mess, you'll get a little bit of mess mixed in with some messages. She talks about financial advice. She talks about real estate advice. She talks and she educates and empowers the people. So she throws out the mess so that she can get you the message. So it's, just go and, just go.
Michelle, ask a question though. It doesn't seem like Heavenly has a lot of friends though.
No, I don't think so.
Outside of
her friends bark at the moon and chase rabbits.
No, I think her
friends bark at the moon and chase rabbits.
I know women. We all know women like that. That once, if they have a significant other, that is their friend. I think Dr. Damon is Heavenly's really friend. Remember when she was little, she didn't learn how to foster relationships with people, especially other women.
My girl grew up with a room with no windows.
Dr. Damon is her friend, and that's who she considers her friend.
Yeah, you guys
have
to
I understand.
Wait, hold on. We gotta close out. But she puts out the mess so you can get the message. Yes. I mean, what kind of backwards?
How many people? Let's be real.
Negative, oxymoron sentence is that? I'm gonna put out the mess so you can get the message.
You can't even have a message.
People ain't gonna listen. Exactly.
Heavenly's angels are in a cult.
You
Y'all in a cult.
Word.
Okay, y'all don't see the
spell
mess.
a word without mess.
Let me close out with this. You know, one of my favorite motivational speakers, he has since gone on to be with the glory, okay? His name is Dr. Wayne Dyer. And you know, one thing Dr. Wayne Dyer said is, you live in the now. You live in the now. And he also said that, you know what, that you have to live the way that you want everything to come back to you. So Heavenly puts out mess, and that's why mess comes back to her, okay? But mess, you know what? I'm always glad to have the heavenly angels in the building. Welcome. I promise you, I'm gonna go buy some wings. And we're going to have a ceremony here where we're going to cut it off. And if you're interested, I don't know what day we're going to do it. We're going to have a whole tutorial because I need to get this thing right. Okay, I need to get this thing right. Okay, yes. I gotta know how to, to pat the tears and whatnot. Okay, thank you, Candace. So listen, sometimes people like, why do y'all watch these messy shows? Like, what are y'all getting out of them? We want y'all to know that we learn a lot of good lessons from these shows. And honey, this Kleenex lesson is the best this year. It's the best this year. I love it.
You better hurry up and patent
this. Yes, we do. Because listen, this could be used in churches, okay?
Funerals.
Yes, it can be used all around the world. You just
churches, graduation speeches. Concerts,
double as a weapon,
conferences,
weddings.
Wait, Royer, not only that, but you can use it at the insurance office when you collect the money from your husband after you poison him.
He said when you kill me, you got it. Okay.
We was at the insurance company by 5 and the casino by 9.
No.
They ask you what happened to your husband, you be like, oh my God, I don't know.
I'm just so emotional. I'm just so emotional.
Thank you, Candace. Y'all can say Candace ain't never give us nothing, okay? Say Candace. Good night, Candace. Good night,
when I go to her concert, I am going to fold up my tissue and take it. And we are going to cry together, Candace. Come on,
Candace. Was a good season. Come on, Candace. That was a good season, Diva. Thanks for